Hello there. There's been some news. What's the news in the old world? Right, let's go down and have a look. So the Beastman book I've done and reviewed. Literally just finished doing that video. So Beastman and Wood Elves have been brought out real super quick, which is good because it means Cathay for Christmas, I think. So I think they're gonna be pushing to get the Cathay range out and done, ready for Christmas. And I'm super looking forward to Cathay. I've not played them in Total War Warhammer 3 yet. I've been saving myself for when we get a bit more of the stuff from them, because the models look great. Although you just know they're just going to be a bit too expensive, don't you? But anyway, what's in the news? Match Play's back, apparently. Not that it has gone anywhere, but this is going to change the competitive meta landscape, I think, quite significantly. This will change the competitive landscape because they're doing really cool stuff. So useful for people organising their first friendly events, as for seasoned veterans. So they're basically telling you how to do old world events. This is wonderful news, excellent news. Open War, Grand Melee and Combined Arms, each of which have slightly different restrictions on characters and units. So we're going to have 3 different types. 6 match play scenarios are designed to challenge players in different ways, while optional secondary objectives and secret objectives can mix things up even further. Secret objectives, I love this. I love the fact that somebody can have an agenda in a game to win the game, but they don't have to tell you what that is. And you can have one too, and you can be trying to guess what each at tournaments. Oh, love it. I think it's brilliant. Yeah, I love the fact that, I mean, it depends what they are. Don't get me wrong. If they're crap, and there's one that's basically, I've got Khemri and I've got this secret objective, so I win this game. You know, if it's one of those, if one of the secret objectives is have a big unit of infantry in the middle of the table for an extra 400 victory points, if it's that, Games Workshop can go and sit on a spade. but actually, you know, could be pretty good. Could be pretty good. I really hope this is exactly what I've. Like, what could you have as a secret objective? Like, I don't know, like retire one of your... Or for an extra 100 points, retire your general off the table before the game finishes. Your opponent doesn't get the victory points for him, and you get an extra 100 points, basically. Something like that. Or maybe even if you retire your general on turn 6, your opponent can't score victory points for him, but obviously can't kill him either. So I'm just thinking on the fly, that's janky as hell and unbalanced and wouldn't work. But something of that ilk, like something a bit weird and just doesn't really contribute to the battle, and it's a proper secret agenda. Anyway, that's in the additional rules, but can't read text. What? Why? Oh, it's accessibility stuff on these screens. Oh, cool. There's a separate section on doubles events, including rules for composition, alliances, scenarios, potential contradictions, detailed guidance for running team events and escalation events. So we're getting team rules. Escalation, in which players' armies grow as the tournament progresses. That would be quite cool for some characterful stuff, but I think as a bog standard tournament format. Slated for pre-orders fairly soon, will be available as softcover land alongside a new FAQ and errata. So when match play hits, bring a few targeted changes to the rules of the game. So they're going to tell us what they are, sort of, soon. And then when this hits, we're going to have a total rules update, which is pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to it. I think that's about it. The last video on Beastman took about an hour and a bit, as is usual. I don't think there's any other stuff to talk about, really. But I am super looking forward to this. I'm actually really pleased with the range that they've decided to release. I think if they'd have gone for everything, well, in actual fact, there's actually not that much that's that special about Cathay. They can just go for a small range, because Cathay in Warhammer Total War, I don't think they've got that many units actually in the game, have they? Go away, go away. So, is it actually Miao Ying? Have they actually brought? Have they? Is it actually her, or is it somebody else? It is Miao Ying, yeah. So she's like really old. I didn't realise that. Interesting. But there's no Zhao Ming. There's no Huan Bo. That's a Gotrek and Felix is anybody. Right, alright, shut up. Go away. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't know how Warhammer Total War works, basically you have lords who are wizards, lords that aren't wizards. You have some named lords that we call legendary lords, and they're the ones that command armies, and they're where you recruit armies, basically. And then your heroes, which are kind of standalone heroes, which can be attached to armies or go off and do missions or whatever. And they're always, well, they're normally like wizards, combat heroes, and like shooty heroes that do a bit of buffing. Like you can have engineers and huntsmen and that kind of stuff, that like huntsmen just shoot things, engineers make cannons better if they're stood near them, that kind of thing. Anyway, so we've not got the peasants, we've got some Jade Warriors. They could you make the Celestial Guard are actually quite good. I quite like those as a unit in the game. Could you actually make them out of the Jade Warriors? I don't think. They've got shields. They've got shields. They're not. Yeah, Celestial Guard are more like solid. But yeah, I mean, you could conceivably make Celestial Guard out of them. But hopefully they've got a Celestial Guard unit done. You've got Jade Warrior Crossbowmen. I don't think we've got that, have we? Have we got any missile-armed foot troops? I thought they did have, actually. Huh. So they don't have any missile troops, so let's hope they're working on those. Yeah, because there's loads of cool missile troops in. Yeah, you got the gunners, you got the crossbows are alright. Crane gunners are amazing. They're so cool. They're nice. Oh, we got grenadiers. I forgot about them. Yeah. So you could have grenadiers. You could have the crane gunners. You do need some handgunners anyway. We've got the Jade Lancers. You could have Great Longmark Riders as well, which are basically just like Pegasus Knights. Aren't they? Are they? Oh, it's just a Warbeast unit. Okay. We've got the Sentinel. We haven't got the Jet Lion. That's another thing that they could do. We've got the Sky Lantern. There's the Sky Junk that's not been invented yet, maybe. Don't think that's been invented yet. And we've got the Great Cannon and the Fire Rain Rocket. So actually there's like 4 additional units that I think they could conceivably do. They could do like this big lion kit. I think that's doable. The Crowmen, I don't think they would do. the Longmire riders they could, and then a couple of shooter units, and I think that would make the whole book basically. So hopefully those are the other things that they're working on, and we can get all that out for Christmas. That would be. Oh, I've just remortgaged as well. Have to contact the mortgage broker again. Right. Anyway, no, but that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Cathay. I think this is wicked. I guess the rules will be stupid, but so basically, in Warhammer 3. She can cast loads of spells, and she's a really good wizard when she's in this form, and then she can turn into that form and back whenever she likes. In this form, she's a crap wizard, but good at combat and has the normal dragony. Well, not quite the normal, but anyway, has a dragon breath weapon attack and is good in combat. This one, she's good at casting magic, so but she swaps between the two forms. So yeah. So this is Miao Ying. Oh no, it's not. I was hoping to get the animation, but there's not really a good one. Anyway, that's the leaks. That's not leaks. They're not leaks, are they? These are what the Games Workshop have provided us with, information that they've provided us with, and it's pretty good, to be honest. I'm quite happy with it. So I hope that's been useful or entertaining or whatever. Apologies for the length. There's not really a lot that I can say. Normally I like my videos to be about an hour long, but I can't. There's only so much padding that I can do. What rules do I think need changing? I think, to be honest, if I was going to change anything, I'd do something with Swift Stride. I think it's too powerful. It needs a bit of a nerf, really. It makes the units that do have Swift Stride far too fast, and units without far too not. Either that, or you need to give infantry blocks that receive a Swift Stride charge an ability to do something to negate it somehow. I don't know what that would be. I don't know whether that's they get extra time to brace because it's particularly long, so they get a +1 to save in the first round of combat, or whatever. But then essentially what you're doing is if you did that, then you're just upping the arms race between essentially the charge bonus of cavalry against the defense bonus of infantry. So I'd just make Swift Stride less good. And less dice rolls, please. Or fewer dice rolls, please. Because that speeds up the game, just reducing the amount of dice rolls. So, I don't know, Swift Stride gives you +2 to charge rolls, but not counter charge, or something. Right? I think that seems pretty fair and gives those units that advantage. So, you know, your maximum threat range is 8. I mean, because like realistically, the chances of you rolling less than 8 on a Swift Stride charge, I can't remember what it is, but it's something like there's quite a high chance of you there's quite a low chance of you getting under 8 on a Swift Stride charge. I can't remember what it is. It's like 1 in 4, 1 in 5, something like that. So your chances of getting 8 or higher are pretty high. Like I said, the average charge distance I think is like 8.2 or 8.4. I can't remember. But if you take all the probabilities and sort of aggregate them and then take the average of the aggregate, then the average of the aggregated charge distances, then you get 8 point something. Anyway, so I don't think it's 1 in 4. I think it might be 1 in 3 chance of getting under 8 with this. But anyway, it's still unlikely. So you might as well just give units +2 to charge, because you know, or +1 or something. Just that really. And that would give those units a competitive advantage, because they can declare charge distances from further away, still an inch or two, but still further away. But it also would, like, if you just had a simple plus whatever, it also level the playing field between, like, for instance, Centaur's charging Praeton, because Praeton has fly 10, but can only declare a charge of up to 6. So it's got a 16-inch threat range, right? A Centaur at the moment has an 8-inch move, but does have Swift Stride. So it adds another 9 to that to give it a 17-inch threat range. So a Praeton, a big flying beastie, like a massive bird basically, can get outcharged by some Centaurs because of Swift Stride. You know, at the moment. Which is a bit weird. It just doesn't feel right. Like, flying units should pretty much always be able to hit the target that they want to hit. Should always be able to charge where they want to charge. That's kind of the point. That's kind of how flying units work in Total War. And that's kind of how that kind of flying combat unit would work in real life. Like, you just can't engage them unless they're on the ground. So it's up to them to choose where they land, right? Or that's how it should be. That's not how they've written the rules, but I'd like to see some more reflection of that somehow. But to make it feel a bit more, because at the moment, essentially, flying creatures, as has happened in every single Warhammer edition, essentially they're just bunny hopping around. So they're basically just big chickens. They're just they're flightless. They can fly a short distance, but then have to land. Like, I've never got that. I've never understood that. Like, why can't we have flying units actually flying above the table and ground units being unable to interact? I know that makes them incredibly valuable, but, you know, whatever. You could have, like, flying being like permanent flyers, like harpies, I'd imagine, and then dragons are basically just have a big chicken rule or something like that. But anyway, I don't even know what I am talking about anymore, so I'm going to stop recording. But anyway, if you've liked the video, I don't see how you could have done, but well done if you have. There's a thumbs up button for that. And if you're still listening over the average listening time, then I'd suggest you subscribe perhaps. But if not, I don't mind. Anyway, toodaloo, catch you later.